Hey, this is Christina of Embassy Promotions, and I help influencers and creators start digital real estate. Now, I wanted to just preface this video by saying that I'm going to talk to you today about digital real estate and why it's actually better than actual real estate. But I want to just say that this is not some kind of get rich quick scheme or some kind of weird new trend, like Bitcoin or crypto or like anything like that. This is really for entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners who actually have a desire to start an online business and obviously therefore invest in their digital real estate portfolio. So there's kind of a business twist on this. If you've watched my other videos, you'll understand that. But I just wanted to kind of start this video by saying that this isn't some kind of weird, get rich quick scheme that I'm kind of peddling. It's more to do about actual business. So if you are entrepreneurial, aspiring online business owner, influencer, creator, wanting to kind of future-proof your wealth by investing in digital assets that will make you money for years to come, then you are in the right place. So stick around. If not, then you're probably not going to enjoy this. So you might want to find another video. I wanted to start today by talking about kind of what is digital real estate and why is it, why could it be better for you than actual real estate? Now, obviously, I don't want to, I don't want loads of homeowners coming to me for this video saying like, you know nothing, like real estate's the best thing in the world. Like, I'm sure it is, but like, just hear me out here. So I want to just, if right now you don't own any property, like you're like renting or like you kind of just missed the boat, right? So I just want to tell you a story. So when I think I was about 23, I was living with my parents. I was commuting to a job every day. My parents' house was really far away from this office. I was commuting kind of an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back, getting up super early. Like when it was dark, I didn't see light. I was obviously in my early 20s living at my parents' house, and so I had obviously my parents there, and then I also had very, very young siblings who had been born not much earlier than that. So they were really young, and I was kind of this adult living in these other adults' house that were kind of living a completely different lifestyle to me. And we were just clashing all the time. There was a lot of arguments. I was really, really unhappy. And as a very, very kind of independent person, I just wanted to get out. I was like it would be my dream to just like have my own space, but I was not earning that much at the time. And putting it quite bluntly as well, like I never really saved. Like I never really thought to myself like, I'm going to save money because I want to own a property. So by the time I realised that I did want my own place, I didn't have any savings, and I wasn't about to stick around in my parents' house for another 3-4 years, eating beans on toast and saving as much of my paycheck as I could, because it just wasn't working for me. It was like that wasn't really the life that I wanted to live. I didn't want to stay there. I didn't want to continue living with my parents. So what I did was I moved out and I rented my first apartment. And when I did that, obviously everyone, the world and his wife then thought that it was their duty to become my financial advisor and start telling me things like, why on earth would you rent a property? Don't you know you're just throwing money down the drain? Yeah, thank you, Sherlock. I knew that, but I didn't want to live with my parents. That was just not a life that I wanted to live. I wanted my own independence. I chose independence rather than kind of sticking in a kind of a situation that wasn't really working for me or my parents. The rest of my family was making us all a little bit upset and uncomfortable. So I moved out, and that's kind of the position that I stayed in ever since. Because obviously once you move out and you start paying rent, then you're really screwed for saving. Suddenly you've got rent and bills and everything to pay. Obviously I was single at the time, and pretty much if that kind of sounds like you, if you're kind of stuck renting and you're like, am I ever going to get on the property ladder? I just wanted to tell you that story because it's a reality for obviously a lot of people. I know in the UK, I think it's pretty much the same in America as well, across the globe. I think the house prices have absolutely skyrocketed, wages haven't caught up. And it's getting really, really difficult for people, especially single people. It's virtually near enough impossible if you're a single person to get on the property ladder without some sort of government-backed scheme, which usually ends up taking the piss anyway. And you obviously end up paying a lot more and stuff like that, or you're trapped in weird contracts and things like that. So I wanted to talk to you today about digital real estate, right? So digital real estate is basically a fancy way of saying it's something online that has value, something online that you can monetize, something online that that makes money. It's something online that you can put money into and get more money back out of. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So if anyone ever hears the term digital real estate, I know what you're thinking, like, how can I buy like digital real estate? Like, how you can't live in a digital house. No, that's true, but it's not actually property. It's actually just assets. So digital real estate, can you see? Yes, you can. So digital real estate is simply put just assets that make you, use pound signs or dollar signs. Is that dollar sign? Is basically assets online that make you money. So examples of digital real estate can be literally your own email list. Like, this is probably my favorite. I have so many trainings on here about why and how you should build your email list, because it is your most important digital asset probably that you will ever own. It can be stuff like digital products. Okay, I'll leave it there. I'll leave you 2 examples because I don't want to like overwhelm you and I don't want this video to be too long. Now, how does this tie in with like the actual property market? Like, why did I start talking in this video about like property and then I'm now talking about email lists and digital products? Well, if you are like an entrepreneurial person and you do want to own your own business, or you want to, you're an influencer, creator, aspiring digital CEO, online business owner, your digital real estate could actually help you buy your first house, get on the property ladder. So we're gonna, if you can't see much left of the board, so I'm gonna skip this. So let's just do a little line down here. So this is like traditional real estate and digital. So with traditional real estate, you know, let's use the UK market as a example. I probably wouldn't get anything remotely interesting or that suited my living requirements for less than 300 grand. Let's say that would be very cheap, especially in the area that I currently live in. We're probably looking more like 500, to be honest, in the area that I currently live in. Digital real estate, there's actually no investment. You can do it for free, but obviously you might pay for software and subscriptions and stuff like that. Let's say like £200 a month max. With obviously digital real estate, you're going to have to save up a lot of money and put down a massive deposit. In the UK, I don't know, I think it's about 10%. So let's say anywhere between 30 to 50k. If you want to invest in a buy-to-let property as a landlord, an investment property, that percentage goes up to 25%. So if I wanted to buy a property for 300 grand to then rent out to someone else, I would have to put up 75k. And that's just on a 300 grand property. Obviously with that's going to be 175 if my maths is correct. Yeah. And that's obviously if you want to rent it out, typically. And obviously again, you don't need to save anything with digital real estate. Again, when you invest in actual real estate, really what you're doing is giving the bank a huge chunk of this money, and they still own most of your property. And you are in debt to them for about the next 25 to 30 years. If you don't make those payments, they'll just take it straight back off you. It doesn't matter how much you paid. I think that's how it works again. I don't own a property, so I don't actually know, but pretty much the bank will repossess it. So massive amounts of debt there. So still no debt. And once you create this, you own it. Not the bank. So once you start building this digital asset and it actually becomes worth something, nobody can come and say, oh, well, you haven't made a payment this month, so we're going to take that away from you. That's now ours, it's not yours. It's yours for life. what more can I say? You can do what you want with it. Now the idea with your list and your digital assets and things like that is, for example, if you found a way to run ads, and you put for every $1 that you put into ads, you got $2 back. I mean, isn't that a better return on investment than a property? I have no idea how much a property yields. I think it's about 6% a year. Rubbish, really, in the grand scheme of things. But this can literally double, triple and quadruple in months, really, the value of your digital assets. So the purpose of this video isn't to say don't buy a property and invest in digital real estate. You know, that's never going to happen. Everyone's going to buy properties because it's still the best place to put your money is in bricks and mortar. But if, for example, you use your digital asset as a cash flow to then go and buy that, not buy debt, but buy your actual real estate. So I wanted to share this today because that's kind of the plan. That's what I'm doing. So I'm using my digital business, my digital asset, to generate cash flow, lots of it, and the profits are an asset. The profits are like return on investment anyway, because the more this is effectively free money, right? It's free cash flow. If I do spend money investing in this list, then obviously you don't spend money on things like ads or whatever to break even, right? You do it for a profit, for a return on investment. So any profits that I get from any money that I do spend investing in my digital asset will be, you know, return on investment, free money, which then goes into the digital into the actual real estate. So I wanted to share that with you if like you're kind of stuck in the position as well where you don't own a property and you're kind of feeling like a bit of a failure and everyone else around you is saying, oh, you should have done this, you shouldn't be renting, you should save, you should do this, and you're literally like, shut the hell up, you're not my financial advisor. Like, you know, I don't have a property, whatever. To be honest, in my opinion, owning a property is massively over-glorified, over-glamorized. Basically, all that really happens is when you buy a property is you eat beans on toast for 4 years, save up a huge chunk of money, hand it over to the bank, and then get a massive loan from the bank. Congratulations. Great. That's really it. So that's kind of you, like, you know, don't feel too bad about it. Like it's a whole different economic society than what our grandparents did, you know, what our grandparents were used to when they could buy a house for like £10, you know, like 50 years ago. So if you are kind of looking into your own digital business and stuff, then obviously digital assets are going to be your little real estate that generates you cash flow and makes you money, and you know, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out. And then you can use that money to then invest in your real estate. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is part of a mini training series that I'm going to be doing on digital real estate. If you're not here binge watching that playlist right now, then maybe you should. I'm going to link it. I can't remember which corner it comes up on YouTube, but I'm going to link the playlist to this digital assets and digital real estate playlist up in either corner here. And I will see you in the next video.